So that was the cool down, not warm down. Um, so what I tried to do there was I started with a bit of high tempo work. So I started on a light jog. So then you're getting your heart rate to be similar to as it would be if they just finished the game. So they'd still be with quite a faster, more rapid heartbeat. And then I'd get them to gradually, obviously, bring the heart rate down. So they always start on a light jog, and it might even look like, Helen, we're warming up again. Why are we warming up again? But that's not what it is at all. It's just getting the heart rate similar to as it was when they played, and then getting them to gradually slow down. And the slow down, again, is working from the top all the way down to the feet. I always try to explain what we're doing to players and why we're doing it. Because you want players to be self-sufficient and independent from you, especially if you're expecting them to do some sort of work away from training with you. So you might only train them once a week. You may only train them twice a week, and whatever it is, it's not the 1,000 hours a year they're meant to be getting. So if you then want to be driving down the street and see your player with a ball in the park, kicking the ball around, you want to see them do that. But in order to facilitate that, they need to also know how to take care of themselves when they're not with you. So I always try and explain what we're doing and why we're doing it. I have to admit, it doesn't always work, because there'll be plenty of times when I'll tell the captain, right, go and take the warm-up or call the players down, and they tend to do their own thing, which is nothing anywhere near what I've been instructing them to do. But there's an easier way to get around that with players leading their warm-ups and cool-downs. All you would need to do is write it out for the captain and say, this is what the warm-up or cool-down looks like, learn it, because you'll be doing it. That's a good way to do it, and I was at a place where they did that, and it seemed quite effective. The only thing is you do need to be able to make sure that the mechanics, the technicalities of it, are being followed according to what you're expecting them to do. So I did my starting from the head to toe. You've got to make sure they don't overstretch. You've got to make sure they don't hyperextend. So, for example, with lunges, you might have seen there, I might have done it accidentally, where I'm doing a lunge and it's a static lunge. And you can see that my knee is going over my toe. That's not correct. You want the players to know the mechanics of the cool down and the warm-ups and why they're doing it, and they need to know that there's a structure to it, so they don't just do a warm-up and it's just getting the ball and kicking the ball everywhere. So that's the cool down. Heart rate starts a little bit more rapid, and then you gradually slow it down. You're working top to toe. You're doing the stretches, which are affecting the big muscles especially, so your quads, the groin, the areas that they move, that they actually use and utilize the most. And then you're getting the players to understand that they should not, you don't want players to be bouncing into stretches too much. So you don't want them to cause themselves any injury. You don't want them to cool down for too long. You don't want them to cool down for literally 2 minutes and they think that's that. So the cool down is just as important or just as significant as their warm-up. But that's basically what I do. That's what it looks like. It changes according to the space we have and obviously the age of the players and maybe even the position. So you might want to start thinking about position-specific warm-ups. How you'd warm up your midfielders may differ greatly to how you'd warm up your centre-backs, and etc., etc. But I have to admit, I don't do that so much, which I probably should do. The more I learn, hopefully, the more I'll have in my own personal catalogue of Arsenal and things to do. So I'll learn how to do that a bit more. But yeah, that's basically what my warm-up, fartlek running and cool down looks like, and that's the reason I do it. And the main reason is because it has worked in the times that I've used that sort of strategy. Hopefully you can sort of take ideas from that or not. It's not rocket science, it never is. We all copy from other people, things that we like, things we don't like, things we've researched. So that's just another thing for you to add to your own database of things to copy or things to alter a little bit.